Luke Skywalker was just a farm boy until he received a mysterious message.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
On May 25th, 1977, theater owner Tom Moyer was excited to see the long lines outside his Portland theater, the Westgate Tri-Cinema. He had exclusive rights to show the film everyone was starting to talk about. This was an era before theaters had 20 screens and the same films playing at every theater in town. Tom had reached an exclusive deal with 20th Century Fox by outbidding the rival theater across town, owned by Larry Muller. Larry was Tom's brother, but they really had no brotherly love between the two. Both theater owners had an intense row that wasn't just for fun.
Don't be alarmed. It's only a laser sword fight. Don't be scared. It's only the Death Star destroying another world. Relax. It's only a movie, and it's all for fun. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
It was only a few weeks before the release of Star Wars on May 5th that Tom won his bid to the exclusive rights. But there was some catches. Star Wars had to open on the biggest screen of his 3-screen theater, and it had to be shown on that screen 2 weeks after Star Wars had gross receipts below $6,150. This really wasn't an issue, as most movies would be well below that within a few weeks of a release, and if not, it would surely be below that before any major release coming up. But this was Star Wars, and as the opening weekend passed, the movie just grew and grew. As word of mouth of the film spread around town, more and more people were flocking to Tom's theater to watch it for the first time or watch it over and over again. Summer rolled by, and Star Wars was only picking up steam.
Don't be startled. It's only the Jawas kidnapping another droid. Don't be frightened. It's only a barroom brawl in hyperspace. Never before in the history of movies has so much time and technology been spent just for fun. Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
As other movies were being forced into Tom's smaller theater with less seats. Across town, his brother couldn't do much, but hoped that the ones that didn't want to see Star Wars would come to his theater to catch Smokey and the Bandit, or maybe Saturday Night Fever on his large screen. Although Tom was raking in the money for the exclusive rights to Star Wars, and there was nothing really to slow it down, there was one problem that was starting to creep up. Tom had won the exclusive rights to show Columbia Pictures' December release, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and like 20th Century Fox, Columbia demanded to be placed on the best screening room with the most seats in the best screen. What would Tom do? Star Wars was still raking in the money, so much money that it wasn't even close to being allowed by contract to move to a smaller screen. Columbia Pictures told Tom that Close Encounters of the Third Kind would play, as agreed, in the theater, in the best room, or they would sue him for breach of contract. And 20th Century Fox let Tom know if he removed Star Wars from the best room in the house, he would be sued for breach of contract. Whatever decision Tom made, there was one thing that was for sure. He would be sued for breach of contract by one of the two movie studios.
Don't be alarmed. It's only the death breath of the Dark Lord. Don't be scared. It's only an Imperial cruiser making the jump to light speed. Relax. It's only a movie, and it's all for fun. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Star Wars was the sure thing, and with Fox now promoting it heavy for the Christmas season, it was packing in more ticket sales, and Fox was expecting each theater to do about $30,000 for 2 weeks due to the new promotion. Tom decided he had to go with the sure bet. He knew Star Wars was going to bring in the money, so he kept playing it, and he let Columbia know it would not get the best show, but he would be happy to show it on one of the other screens. Columbia Pictures pulled their deal with Tom and handed the exclusive rights to Close Encounters of the Third Kind over to his brother Larry. Also, Columbia Pictures filed a breach of contract with Tom, and worst of all, Columbia removed Tom from bidding on any of their upcoming releases, giving his rival brother exclusive right to all Columbia films. without even bidding, without even making an offer. No matter what, if it was released by Columbia, his brother would get the exclusive rights. Tom wasn't just going to sit and take it, and he filed a restraining order against Columbia, claiming that Columbia's actions were seen as boycotting his theater, and that was breaking antitrust laws. Columbia and Tom showed up at district court, where it was ruled that Tom was not in breach of his contract, and they also ruled that Columbia did not break any antitrust laws. In short, Tom could refuse to show Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Columbia could block him from bidding on any future films. Both parties would appeal the ruling and fight it in court so long, by the time the 9th District Court of Appeals upheld the original ruling, Tom was no longer even showing Star Wars at his theater, as he was now raking in money showing The Empire Strikes Back. After 523 days, the Westgate Theater ended its run of Star Wars, placing an ad in the local newspaper thanking 20th Century Fox, George Lucas, and celebrating the long run. But it seems there were more than just a film print of Star Wars that showed up at the theater. Kenner has sent the theater free action figures to give away to ticket buyers. One of those boxes somehow got misplaced and was not found for almost 40 years. Inside the box was mint bagged Star Wars figures of Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, and R2-D2. No one's for sure when the theater was given these figures to give away, but seeing that these are the same figures released in the early bird set, it would be most likely that these figures were given away in early 1978. Star Wars was released well before Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and by any normal release movie, this would not have been an issue, but Star Wars was a juggernaut that kept growing week after week, causing this to be a problem with many theaters across the country. Well, I want to thank you for watching. As always, please thumb up so you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again soon.
Luke Skywalker is on a daring mission to rescue a beautiful princess, and all he needs is a little help from his friends. Han Solo, space pirate, and Chewie, his giant Wookiee, C-3PO, human relations cyborg, and his counterpart R2-D2, and the mysterious Jedi Knight. Never before in the history of movies has so much time and technology been spent just for fun. Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.